Okay, we're on Shabbat, Perek Gimel, Mishnah, Dalet. We're in the middle of talking about the concept of Toldot Hachama and Toldot Ha'or. And we learned that Chazal made a gzeira. Let's find my chart. Chazal made a gzeira that Toldot Hachama was Asur. There we are. Toldot Hachama was Asur. It was a machloket, but the Tanakama said there were gozer Toldot Hachama altu Toldot Ha'or. That if you have something that was heated by the sun, it's prohibited, just like because we're afraid you're going to also maybe cook something using Toldot Ha'or, something cooked with a fire. So another Gemara is going to continue with the story. The Mishnah is going to continue with the story relating the halacha in that case. Ma'aseh, story, Sh'asu, Anshei Teveria, Ve'abiu Silon Shel Tzonein, L'toch Amah Shel Chamin. They took this this pipe, and as we all know, if you've ever been to Teveria, there is the Chamei Teveria, there's the hot springs of Teveria. So you have a natural source of hot water. What a great idea. So then they took a pipe and they ran it through, and and while the cold water would go through that pipe, it would be warm. They created a hot water heater in ancient times. So the Mishnah says, Amrulem Chachamim, the Chachamim said, Im b'Shabbat, if you want to use that water on Shabbat, Kechamin shuchmu b'Shabbat, then it's like water, hot water that was warmed on Shabbat. And what's halacha of water that was warmed b'Shabbat? Asurim b'Rechitza. Ubishtiya, you can't wash with it, even your face. You can't wash with it your face or certainly your whole body. Ubishtiya, you're also not allowed to drink it. Any water that was cooked, bi'isur, on Shabbat, you're not allowed to benefit from it. You can't drink it. You can't wash with it. B'yom tov, and if it's on Yom Tov, kechamin shuchabu b'yom tov, then it's like water that was cooked on Yom Tov. Asurin b'rechitza, umutarin b'shtiya. So, first of all, Asurim b'Rechitza. Rechitza means Rechitzat Kol Gufa. Look at the Bartanura for a second. Okay? Ma'im Shovim b'Yom Tov. Dinam Kedin Chamin Shuchvu b'Yom Tov. It's like water that was cooked on Yom Tov. Asurim Lechotz B'Hem Kol HaGuf. You can't wash your entire body. And that's because of a Gzeirah Chachamim instituted because they were afraid you'd go to the bathhouse. But, as we all know, and we're going to learn, obviously in the future, that on Yom Tov, Mutarim B'Shtiyah, you're allowed to drink that water because there's a principle of the tzorech ochel nefesh. You're allowed to cook water for the purpose of drinking. So therefore, if they use that hot water in their hot water spring on Yom Tov, then that would be permitted. And the obvious point was that the people of Teveria thought they had a great idea. Oh, it's naturally being heated. Chachamim said you're not allowed to do it. It's Toldat Hachama. Now, what about Rabbi Yossi? We see Rabbi Yossi doesn't argue here. So the Gemara talks about it. There are a couple of opinions. Some say it's because of Hatmana, and some say that Rabbi Yossi said, the Bartanura says that Rabbi Yossi agreed in this case. Where am I? Okay, Rabbi Yossi agreed in this case. Does Rabbi Bartanura say that? No, the Kahati says that Rabbi Yossi agreed in this case based on the Gemara because Rabbi Yossi felt that it was, even if it's not Toldot Chama, it's Toldot Ta'or because of the fires of hell down in the depths of the because that's what's, the fires of hell are what's warming up the Chamei Teveria. It's very interesting. If you've ever been to Teveria, you might think that the water is not the greatest because it smells. It has that sulfurous smell, so maybe that's why why they didn't. Why Rabbi Yossi felt it was different. It was not a good. I'll just read it from the Kahati. Rabbi Yossi says Chamei Teveria is ovrim al pitchol shel gehenem. That's Gemara in Shabbat Lamitet. The water passes through the entrance to hell. So you wouldn't want to warm up your water with that anyway. Muliyar hagaruf. The Mishnah continues. Muliyar hagaruf. Now a muliyar is it's kind of like a hot water urn, but it has coals on the side, so which is very interesting because so you put in the coals on the side and it will keep that water warm. Let's just look at it. The Bartanura explains. Muliyar, Peshu Gemara, Mayim bibifnim ugechalim mibechutz. Okay, there's water on the inside. So you have let's say you have the urn. Imagine this is an urn, and on the side there's this sort of patch. There's a receptacle, and you would put the coals in, and it would keep the water warm. Okay, and it's garuf. So this garuf, what happened? Garfu mi ba'on yom midikachalim. So you warmed up the water. It had the coals in it, and then you took out the coals before Shabbat. Okay. Therefore, the Mishnah says it's mutar. That's what the Mishnah says. Muliyar garuf shoti me'emenu b'Shabbat. So the muliyar itself, it had coals in it. You took the coals out, and now it's still warm. The Mishnah says you're allowed to drink from it on Shabbat. But antichi, what is an antichi? An antichi is the same kind of idea. So you just imagine this is your urn. It's got full of water. The antichi has the receptacle on the bottom. It's got the coals here on the bottom, and it keeps its heat for a very long time. So the Mishnah says in that case, even though it's gufa, even though you scraped out the coals, nonetheless it retains its heat for a very long time, and therefore ein shotim mimenu, you're not allowed to drink from it on Shabbat. We'll stop here. If you have any comments or questions, as always, email me at rspolter@gmail.com. We'll dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.